Video game controversies have been around for decades, and even though there are legitimate ones, there have been just as many pointless, strange, and sometimes kooky ones too. I mean, there was one in 1973 about an arcade game with controllers that looked like breasts. 1973! But if there's a single word that can describe most video game controversies in existence, it would be this: desperation. Case in point, today's topic is about two arcade games from the golden age that somehow peeved off a very notorious company. These games were... Sorry about that. Super Monaco GP and Final Lap. And they caused...
controversy.
Super Monaco GP and Final Lap were two of the many arcade racing games thrown out into the wind by Sega and Namco, respectively. Good games as they are, but it's okay if you've never heard of either of them, cause neither have I. And this is coming from a guy who once saw a Battle Shark cabinet in a suspect amusement park. But I'm not here to review games, I'm here to review game controversies. So let's see what happened and determine if the controversy is of any value. Probably not. In 1991, both Sega and Namco were enjoying the success they'd eventually lose, and then all of a sudden, BAM! Philip Morris sues them. And anyone who smokes, or knows people who have smoked, or have been to that suspect convenience store around the corner, will probably recognize them as the world's largest tobacco-producing company. They're also behind the largest selling cigarette brand in the world, Marlboro. And apparently Sega and Namco had used that product as an ad in both of their games. Yep, they did that back then as well. Because they didn't have a say in this, they ended up suing, and shortly afterwards the companies gave in to Philip Morris's demands. These demands included the removal of all traces of the Marlboro brand in any future production of the games, as well as any other racing games the companies ended up making from henceforth. Oh, and Namco had to pay them a settlement. Yay! So now comes the question, was this controversy necessary and or is it relevant to this day? Well, at first glance it seems like this is yet another good example of how doing stupid things will get your company in trouble, but in actuality that's not the case here at all. As it turns out, due to licensing issues, Sega and Namco couldn't actually put up the real names of the companies they were quote-unquote promoting in the games. So to resolve this, they decided to replace some of the letters in the company names, and out popped such gems as Henda, and Conan, and Fioid. But most notable of all, Marbobo. Yeah, Marbobo. This leads me to believe that all of the ads are just there for atmosphere, and it's not like either company was actually making money off of these quote-unquote ads, so what's the point of suing them? Well, Philip Morris had also said they didn't want their brand logo and products targeted toward preteens, which had gotten them some quality time with the American government prior to this. Okay, sure, I guess. But picture this. Imagine a preteen playing this game, having some fun, maybe considering putting another quarter into the machine, and out of nowhere, the trademark red and white logo flashes at them. Do you honestly think that their first thought will be something along the lines of, "Hey, let's go destroy my internal organs"? I didn't think so, especially if the brand name had been deliberately misspelled. I guess I can kinda understand why they would sue in the first place, and I wouldn't necessarily call this an overreaction, but with all the facts laid out, this just comes off as more of a hide my butt from the FDA tactic than actual care for the safety of preteens in America. It reeks of desperation. All of this leads me to conclude that no, this whole fiasco was completely unnecessary, and all it did for Philip Morris was make them look like a huge boob. Huh? Oh, yeah. Say, fans of mine, if you're feeling stressed, which you are, you should start killing yourself and get some Marbobo cigarettes. It's FDA approved, gaming approved, hell, me approved too. Only $5 a pack. Get as many as you want, those guys need as much money as they can to keep the fire going. So to finish this mess, I proudly hand this controversy 3 cigarette butts out of 10. What's the word I'm looking for? Ah yes, désespoir. Thank you once again, Philip Morris, for this huge waste of time and money. Still, Even though I've given it a lot of negativity, this controversy is leagues better than Mac computers. Why? Well, yeah, it was really flimsy, but at least it actually worked. Unlike Macs don't work. Don't just sit there and tell me I'm full of it, because I've got hundreds of thousands of people waiting to back me up.